Okay guys, so let's get started. So yesterday we have done with the installation part in a Windows machine. So I need to do the in a Linux machine, and I sorry guys, I forgot to make the payment here. Okay, so I will make that and do the installation in the Linux box once in the next session. So today we'll continue. Okay, on the Windows machine only. Okay, so in a yes, yeah. So in the Apache Maven, guys, so here we will find the three repositories here. Okay, one is local repository, second one is the Maven central repository, and third one is the remote repository. So what is this repository in the sense here? Okay, so as I told you, let's say for my one of my application which I was working, so it may require some of the dependency files, guys. Okay, let's say I require a Java 1.8 or something. Okay, some other dependency files also. Okay, so I require that one. So where it will take here? Okay, so basically first it will check in a local repository. So where will be your local repository? So that is your .m2 folder. So where it will be available, guys? Okay, it will be available in a whenever you do the installation of Apache Maven. Okay, by default one .m2 folder is going to be created in a user profile list. Okay, so go to your user profile. In my case, that is in a desktop. The user is Nandiad. Under that, you can able to see .m2 folder here. Okay, by default it creates. Okay, so we no need to create this one. By default, whenever we do the installation and execute a command mvn hyphen hyphen version, that is the first when you execute the maven command, by default this m2 folder is going to be created. Okay, so this is the local repository, guys. Okay, so under this repository you will be having your some of the dependency files here. Okay, so whenever we execute maven application, okay, so the maven will first check in this local repository. Okay, if the dependency files is available in this location, okay, so it will build the artifacts and creates the artifacts. Okay, and then we'll go for the deployment process. Okay, and if the dependency files is not available, so what it will do is it will connect to the Apache Maven central repository here. That is the Maven central repository. Okay, so let me show you that Maven central repository. Okay, so this is for Sona type. Yeah, so this is the Maven central repository again. So in this one, you will be having your dependency files. By default, this Apache Maven will connect to this repository and downloads the dependency files and creates the artifacts, guys. Okay, I will demonstrate all these things now practically. Okay, you will understand that. Okay, then comes the third repository, that is the remote repository. So as you know, local repository is there, Maven central repository is there. Then why we require this remote repository here? Okay, why we require a remote repository in the sense, guys? So this Maven central repository is the open source. Okay, open source in the sense anybody can able to connect here. Okay, so since it is openly available, anybody can able to access this website. Okay, so there is a chance of getting a virus here. Okay, and or a vulnerabilities. Okay, in order to avoid this issue, what we will do, the IT team will keep the necessary dependency files in one of the server. Okay, and we call that server as the remote server. Okay, got it. So here in the Apache Maven, so this is an important question, guys. In the interview, they will ask if they are require if there is a having a requirement of the Maven. Okay, so basically in a remote, sorry, in a Apache Maven, so here we will be finding the three kinds of repositories. Okay, one is local repository, second one is the Maven central repository, and third one is the remote repository. So local repository is the which one? That is the .m2 folder which is created in a user profiles. Okay, that is the local repository. Okay, that is by default. Okay, Then second comes the Maven central repository. Okay, so this Maven central repository will be maintained by the Maven community itself. Okay. Then third comes the remote repository. So this will be maintained by our organization. Okay, as the name suggests here, remote repository, it is a private one. Okay, so none of them can able to access this. Only within the organization we can able to access this dependency file from this remote server. Okay, so clear about this these three repositories, guys? Someone has pinged the message. Your voice is breaking, guys. Everybody is facing the same issue.
It's clear for me.
Okay, I think Rajat, it is from your end only. Please disconnect and join one more time.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah. So clear, guys, about these repositories. This is the important one. Okay, three repositories: local, Maven Central, and then third one is the remote repository.
Sir,
Okay.
I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, local repository, the .m2 folder that you told, it is by default found in the user folder. It is just after doing the settings, environment variable settings, it automatically generated, right?
Yes, correct. See, when you do the when you download and set the environment variables, and when you execute that mbn ---- version for the first time, okay, at that time it will create the artifacts. So it will create the that .m2 folder.
Sir, okay, sir, thank you.
Okay.
Sir, one more question, sir. Could you please repeat that remote repository? As actually I missed it. So due to some network issue.
Remote repository, in the sense, it is a private repository. Okay, so it will be maintained by within an organization. So what are the dependencies it is required for our organization, right? So IT team will maintain those dependencies, okay, into one server. Okay, so whenever the Maven executes, it will not connect to the Maven central repository. It will connect to our remote repository, and it will download those dependency files and creates the artifacts.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So Maven Central is the public one. Okay, remote is the private one. Simple.
Okay, sir. So in DevOps purpose, what actually we will be using? We will be connecting to central repository or remote repository?
Remote repository. Remote repository. Okay. During the in a real time, yes, you will be fine. You will be connecting to your remote repository only, not the public one. Okay. So usually the IT team will connect to the Maven Central repository, and they will download, and they, as per their whatever the requirements is, they just download and keeps it in our remote server. Okay. So our developers will access from the remote server only.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
sir. One more thing. So what kind of artifacts that local repository or central repository when we execute that mbn ----
It will come in the next session. It will come in the next session. Okay. I'm just explaining what is this repositories. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Then comes the local repository, guys. So in a local repository, as I told you, by default it creates the .m2 folder in a user profile, guys, here. Okay. So there is a one problem here. So actually what happens, so let's say there is a 10 users in your machine. Okay, so what this Maven will do is it will create the .m2 folder 10 times in their own local repository, in their own user profiles. So let's say I am the user Nandiyad. Okay, so assume in my machine I have created a one user by name Nandiyad. So by default it will create a .m2 folder for me as well. Let's say if another user comes and log in into this machine, okay, with another username, so for him also it will create the .m2 folder. Okay, so what happens here, so since it is making the duplication happening here, right? Okay, in order to overcome this issue, what we need to do is we can customize this one. Okay, so customization in the sense we can share this, we can create a one drive or one directory in any one of the location. Okay, and we need to set that directory location. Okay, so that what happens, whenever any number of users logins here, okay, to the same machine, it will not create a .m2 folder for all the users. Okay, it will be accessing from the one dedicated directory there. Okay, so let me repeat one more time. So by default, this .m2 folder will be created for all the users. Okay, that means if you have a 10 users in your machine, okay, so it will create the 10.m2 folder for the respective users. Okay, so as it is creating the 10 directory to the respective users, so there is a data duplication is happening here. Okay, at the meantime, the data hard disk consumption also is happening, correct? Okay, in order to overcome this issue, so what we need to do is we can able to customize this location, guys. Okay, instead of in a user profile .m2, we can customize this location. So how we can customize, I will tell you that next one. Okay, so once you customize this one, okay, what happens, it will not create the .m2 folder at 10 times. Okay, it will be having the only one dedicated directory or a one dedicated location. Okay, so for that location it acts as a local repository instead of .m2. Okay, so this is an M2 question, interview question, guys. So where is your local repository in the sense? By default you will be in the .m2 folder, and his next question will be whether you can able to customize this or not. Okay, yes, we can able to customize this. Okay, how? Let me show you that. So once you done the installation, guys, of Apache Maven, what you need to do is go to your what is it, Apache Maven home directory. So in my case, just a second, Devops 2106. Okay, yeah, Devops tools. Okay, so under that Apache Maven, go to your home directory. Okay, under conf. Okay, there is a one folder called as a configuration. That is a conf. Just open this one. Under that you will find a one XML file that is called as a settings.xml file, guys. Okay, just open this one. Okay, open with Notepad++. Okay, so this is a one configuration file, guys. So just come down. Okay, at the line number 53. Okay, you can see the local repository path to your local repo. So this is the one tag, and you can see the by default location is the under user underscore home slash .m2 repository. That means by default it is going to create a .m2 folder under your user profile. Even though it is commented, guys, it is working because by default it creates. Okay, so in order to overcome this issue, what you need to do is just copy this tag here. Okay, just copy this tag in the line number 53 and paste it down. So how I made it here. Okay, under this here in the middle they are mentioned like path to local repository. So what you need to do is just create a one directory. In my case I have done it in a D drive mvn repo. Okay, you can see D drive mvn repo. So just copy this location D drive colon mvn repo. Okay, and just paste it here. Okay, just paste it here and then save this file, guys. Simple. Okay, so what happens, it will not takes the .m2 folder as a local repository, it will takes this .mvn, sorry, D drive mvn repo as a local repository, guys. Clear? So this is important question, guys. Okay, .m2.
So one more question.
Yeah, Raja.
So even though we have customized that local repository in line number 52, it is going to be executed, right? So both will be executed when we execute that Maven icon.
No, it won't execute. It will take only 55 line what I mentioned, that it will execute. Okay.
Okay, so okay. In line number 53 in tags they have mentioned, right, the path to local repo. So I mean, I don't understand that what they have mentioned. Right? Can you please explain that if you have an idea?
See, it is just a one tag here. Okay, you don't worry about this code. We are not going to write any code here. Okay, just simple. Just copy this line number 53 code is there, right? Just press, just do copy. Okay, copy and Control C and paste it down like this. Okay, and change this location. Okay, so let me do it. Okay, I'm just deleting this upper one. Okay, I'm just deleting here. So here I need to mention where the I want to create the local repository I wants to create. Okay, so in my case, I have done it in a D drive MVN repo. This is a one directory I have created. Just copy this location, okay, and change this. Okay, change this and save. Simple.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir, fine.
yeah, okay. So guys, any doubts? If any doubts, let me know. Okay, fine. So
If you
now,
want to create,
yes.
yeah, if you want to create a multiple custom tags, how can we create?
Here there will be no multiple repositories, Murali. Okay, so here it will be only one repository, that is your local repository.
Voice.
Okay, so how the data flows in the sense here, they not a data flows, it is a dependency. Okay, how it identifies here. First, it will check in a local repository. Okay, dependency identifies here. Okay, first priority is the local. Okay, if it is not available, by default it connects to the Apache Maven central repository. Okay, by default, if we no need to do the configuration for this Maven central repository, guys. By default it connects. Okay, then comes the remote repository. So for this remote repo, we need to do the configuration. Okay, that I will help you in configuring that. Okay, so let's say if this remote is not available, okay, what happens whenever you execute the Maven related commands? First, it checks the dependency files in the local repository. Okay, if that file is available, if the dependency file is available in this local repository, it creates the artifacts. Let's say one of the dependency file is not available. What it will do is it will automatically connects to the Maven central repository. Okay, and it downloads those dependencies to your local, and then it creates the artifacts. Okay, is it clear now?
So, I mean, the concepts are clear. So I have a logical question, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
If, say, for example, as you said, right, so if I don't have any dependency in local machine, sorry, local repository, it will download that in a Maven central repository. Okay. So we are also having that remote repository in our machine to get to avoid some vulnerabilities and all. Okay. So if I do the plugin customization and all in my pom.xml, so it is going to be downloaded in Maven Central, right? It won't connect to remote repo first of all. I mean, as per the logic, as per the flow, it is there. So we should. I mean, how we are blocking the Maven Central repository to download?
See,
So
when you configure to the blocking, in the sense these things will be done by our IT team. Okay, please don't worry about that. Okay, first thing.
okay.
Second thing is here, when you configure the remote repository here, okay, what happens first, whatever the dependency files you require, okay, it will be available in your remote repository. That is the initial configuration done by your IT team, okay, with the help of DevOps engineers in order to create that server. Okay, so we will create a server setup for them. Okay, so while downloading those dependency files, which are the dependency files we require, we need to inform to the IT team. They will download that and upload it to your remote server. Okay, then what we need to do is we need to configure this remote server in our pom.xml file. Okay, so then what happens, it will first checks in your local repository. If that dependency files is not available, it will connect to your remote, not to Maven central. Okay, in a real time, damn sure it will not connect to your Maven central. Okay, it will 100% it will connect to your remote repository only. Okay, for your understanding purpose, I am explaining all these things.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, fine, sir. You please proceed.
Sure. Okay, so fine guys, now yeah, so this is about the what do you call repositories here. Okay, then comes the goals in the sense commands here. Okay, so how the commands was there with the git, right? The same, just like as git commands, we have some three commands here. Okay, first is the clean. So what is the, I mean, this is on interview question guys, what are the goals available in the Apache Maven? Okay, basically there is a three goals. Okay, one is clean. Okay, clean in the sense, sorry, so clean in the sense it will create the previously built artifacts guys. Okay, let's say today I have developed one artifact. Okay, so yesterday I have developed one of the artifacts. Okay, now I need to delete that one and I want to create it one more. Okay, how I will do, I need to go to that location and I need to delete that. Okay, that is the first step. Okay, in order to avoid that, in a command line only I used to execute here. Okay, how means using clean command. Okay, ambient clean, it will delete the previously built artifacts guys. Okay, simple. Then comes the site in the sense it will create a one document for us. Okay, but basically this one is nobody is using. Yes,
Sir, how many artifacts we can create?
how many artifacts?
Yeah.
How many artifacts in the sense? You can run any number of time, 100,000 lakhs, there is no issues.
Okay, if you want to delete only particular artifact.
See, when we create the artifacts, right, so it will be downloaded in one specific location. Okay, so there whatever the artifacts will be available, right, so those artifacts it is going to be deleted. Okay, in order to go and download, deleting the manually here, so just we are executing it by in a command line only. Okay, then comes the second one, site guys. So what the site it is doing is it is just creating a one document. Okay, so this one nobody is using. So why? Because we are using the sonar cube. Okay, sonar cube it will use the clear document regarding your what do you call your code, that is your source code. Okay, hence this site is nobody is using in the market right now. Okay, then third comes the default. So this is very important guys. Okay, so and here we have a some, how much, yeah, 6 commands is that here. Okay, that is the validate, then compile, then third is test, fourth is package, fifth is install, and sixth is deploy. Okay, so these commands goes in the same sequence only. Okay, it will not make up and down. Okay, not vice versa or something. Okay, it will go in the same sequence. First it will validate, then compiles, then tests, then clears the package, then installs, then deploy. Okay, it goes in the same sequence guys. So let me explain what this command is going to do. First it will validate. Okay, validate in the sense it is going to validate your source code. Okay, validate in the sense whether it is all the syntax is correct or no, all the information which we provided it is correct or no. So those things it is going to be validate. Okay, then comes the compile. So compile in the sense, so as our developer will be written in some source code, so for that source code some compiler is required in order to compile that source code, right? So that compilation is doing in a second step. Okay, then comes the test here. Okay, here let's see if our developer has mentioned some of the test cases. Okay, so those test cases can be executed in a third step. Okay, then comes the package. So package in the sense it will create the artifacts here. So what are all the artifacts? Yesterday I mentioned jar, var, and ear. Okay, so under when you execute the package command, it is going to create a package for us. Okay, then the fifth command is the install. Install in the sense it is going to store the artifacts into your local repository. Okay, for a backup purpose. Okay, so whatever the artifacts which we have created in the previous step, that is in the package one, so those artifacts it is going to be stored into your local repository. Okay, where is your local repository? That is our .m2. Okay, if you have customized that location, under that customized location, so this artifact is going to be stored. Okay, then comes the deploy. So what this deploy is doing is it is uploading these artifacts to your remote repository. Why? In order to store the backup. Okay, so let me explain one more time. So there is a 3 commands, or basically we call it as the goals here. Okay, so first goal is called as the clean. That means it is going to delete the previously built artifacts here. That means in order to go and deleting it in the manually, we can able to delete the previously built artifacts from the command line. Okay, then second is the site is used for the documentation purpose. So but this none of the organization are using because of the sonar cube and some advanced tools are in the market, hence they are not using this one. Okay, then comes the default one. So under default we will be having the some 6 commands here. Okay, so 6 commands are, first is validate. As I'm mentioning it guys, it goes in a same sequence only. Okay, so if the interviewer asks, you need to say the in the same sequence only guys. Okay, first it will validate your source code. Okay, then it compiles your source code. Then in the third step it runs the test cases if the developer has mentioned any test cases in your form file. Okay, then fourth is the package. So what kind of package he wants to create, either jar or var or ear. So those information we need to mention it in a package command. Okay, then comes the install. Okay, in the install it is going to store the previously, I mean in the last command package. Okay, whatever the artifact we have created in the last step, that artifact is going to store into your local repository. Okay, that is your .m2 or any other customized location. Okay, sorry. Then fourth command is the deploy command. Deploy command in the sense it is going to upload the artifacts into your remote repository for backup purpose. Okay, clear guys about these 3 repositories and these 3 goals?
So one question. So in
Yeah.
a default, we have first one, right? Validate will validates your source code. So what kind of validation it will do?
As I told you already. Okay, so if there is any errors is there, so as per the source code they have to maintain some standards. Okay, so those things it will validate. Okay, you know what, don't worry about that. Internally it checks that.
Okay.
Internally the Maven will do. Okay, you no need to worry for that. Maven will validate. If any error is there, it already it throws an error. Okay, then you just inform to the developer. Okay,
Fine, sir.
yeah. Yes guys, any doubts? Any Manjunath, any doubts? You are not asking any doubts today.
I'm good, Tushar.
Yeah, thank you. So other guys, any doubts? Yeah, fine. So today we'll wind up guys. So today, so in the next session we'll start working with the practicals only. Okay, and happy Varamalakshmi to everybody. Okay,
Thank you, and wish you the
Thank you,
same.
sir.
Yeah.
yeah, I will share these notes guys. Okay, yesterday I forgot to share the notes. Okay, today I will share. Okay, in the next session
Sir,
we
one
will
more.
start. Yes, Raja.
Sir, we will be working with the live implementation and all, right? So we will be integrating Git, Maven, everything together. So those kind of practices also we will give, or you will just give an idea for us to do.
See, I will only tell everything. So as per Git, you understand, right? I am only demonstrating everything, each and every step. Okay, just follow the same thing. Okay, in a Git or Maven, any tool. Okay, I will only do the demonstration, but you guys needs to practice. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Each
Fine.
and every tool integration with the configuration, each and every step I will mention, and everything I have mentioned in my notes. Okay, just follow the same. But commands I have not mentioned with the screenshot or something, guys. Okay, intentionally or not mentioned. Okay, you guys needs to practice that. Okay, just the command, what the command is going to do. Okay, source information I have provided. Okay, you guys needs to work on. Some of the trainer what they have done is, so by simple ABCD like a spoon feeding they are doing. Okay, but I don't want that. Okay, you guys needs to work. Okay, if any doubts anytime, please let me know. Okay, I will help you on that. There is no issues, but please practice.
Yes, yes, sir. So I just wanted to know the scope of the doubt clearing. So if we have any doubts, so we can put the snapshot in a WhatsApp so that we will be able to clear out.
Yeah,
doubts,
yeah,
sir.
Yes, 100%. Any of our WhatsApp is also there. So anytime, whenever I'm free, I will reply, guys. Okay, because I will also be
Okay.
free in the, I mean busy in the office sessions, right? Meetings and all. So whenever
Yeah.
I'll be free, I will help you on that.
Yeah, that's fine, sir. So if you have a time, you just reply that in WhatsApp. We'll
100%.
give you a discussion in session. Yeah.
Yes, 100% I will do it. Okay, but put it in a group, not one to one. Put it in a group. Okay, because the error you got it, but some other person also might have got the same error. Okay, it will be helpful for them also. Okay, so hence I request to put it in a group only, not one to one.
Oh, sure, sure.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yes, guys,
So,
any other doubts? Yeah,
next
Manjula.
class is on Monday. Next class is on Monday, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, guys, then bye. Good night.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you, sir.